Tonight on CTV News, the Prime Minister opens a new housing development in Christchurch. Could New Zealand reach the Greens 100% renewable energy by 15 years' time? And be prepared for the unusual.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to CTV News, now streaming live every night at ctv.co.nz. Well, a 29-year-old man has appeared in the Christchurch District Court today, charged with 4 warrants for the unlawful possession of a firearm, drugs and a motorbike. He was allegedly walking the bike along a residential street, carrying a modified rifle and ammunition. The man was arrested by police yesterday after receiving numerous calls from concerned members of the public. A residential property in Teddington was searched by police later that afternoon, seizing cannabis, 2 shotguns and a taser. Investigations are continuing. While he's back from his trip in Iraq and now he's in Christchurch, the Prime Minister's in town visiting a new housing development, 7 houses, love and dedication built. Chelsea Daniels explains.
Prime Minister John Key is in Christchurch today, helping to unveil Dow Gardens, a new housing development built by the hands of the community.
The Prime Minister has just unveiled the name for our Habitat for Humanity development here. We're calling it Dow Gardens, and that's because Dow Corporation, big international firm, have contributed $400,000 towards building homes for families here in Christchurch.
Habitat for Humanity is the city's largest rebuilding program and aims to help families currently living in substandard housing. They are currently building 21 new homes for Christchurch families at a cost of around $7.5 million.
Of the 21 families that we're housing in this project, we would have only 2 who didn't report that they were suffering health problems as a result of the housing that they were in. So 19 of these 21 families are living in substandard homes that are causing serious health issues for their families, including hospital admissions and respiratory illnesses. And
the 7 families selected for this new development should move into their new homes around Christmas time.
These homes will be built to a modern standard, warmer than any house I've ever lived in, and drier. Exactly what people in Christchurch need right now.
Dow not only coughed up the cash for the project, but also came to Christchurch to lend a helping hand.
2 months ago we were down in August on another beautiful day, and we were able to spend a day with some of the Dow leaders doing some not very sophisticated building, but just pitching in and doing what we can to help.
And there's only one other Dow Gardens community registered in the world.
Dow Gardens started because our founder started Dow Gardens back in Midland, Michigan, when our company founded in 1897. So we thought that with this being a previous garden, it was a great name in honor of the land.
And the families couldn't be more excited.
I was talking to one of them earlier today, and they talked a lot about what an opportunity for their children to have a nice, decent, safe place to live.
And they've been waiting a long time, many of them. We've had a lot of delays getting to this point. Building in Christchurch these days, as many people know, is a real challenge. These families have been patient, and now they're getting a chance to work on their homes. And today they got a chance to meet the Prime Minister, so everyone's pretty excited.
Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Development of St John's new ambulance hubs racing ahead, with an official sod turning today. The $7 million purpose-built complex will be built on the charity's former site on St Asaph Street, designed to act as a central point for staff, where they can restock and clean their engines. It will also be a space for paramedics to focus on their patients and work with smaller stations around the city. Plans were unveiled back in July, and work is set to begin next week. Well, the Greens hope to reach a 100% renewable energy target by 2030, but there's concern people investing in solar panels could see buyback rates plummeting at any time. Here's Chelsea Daniels.
Christchurch Greens MP Eugenie Sage is passionate about issues in the solar industry.
We have got a government that's got its head in the sand over climate change and doesn't want to take the steps to make a more sustainable, renewable energy system.
The bill suggests an amendment to the Electricity Industry Act to ensure households are selling back excess energy to electricity companies at a fair price.
The Green Party bill, Private Members Bill, provides for the Electricity Authority to be a neutral umpire to set fair buyback rates so that people can get a fair return on their investment.
And And it's the first Greens bill to come up for a debate in 3 years.
Now we need support from the other parties to have it go to select committee so the public can make submissions. So it's making a small change to the law which would deliver big benefits and would help get our electricity generation onto a more renewable footing so that we can get to that 100% target.
The Greens MP responsible for the ballot visited Christchurch as a part of his whirlwind tour of New Zealand, promoting the Fair for Solar campaign.
It establishes a standardised connection framework. There are 27 different lines companies across the country. They've all got different rules, all got different forms, all got different fees. Surely we can standardise that. Secondly, a standardised contract, because at the moment, if you're feeding your surplus solar electricity back into the grid, the power company can and do change the terms with only 30 days notice. So I think we should standardise that. And thirdly, the buyback rate, or the tariff which is paid to small-scale generators, someone with a solar panel on their roof.
Hughes says the power companies can change the terms, conditions and buyback rates for surplus power with only 30 days notice. Meridian dropped their buyback rate by 72% from 26 cents to 8 cents just last year. And it's something these two homeowners feel isn't fair.
When we got this fitted, we paid a certain amount and they paid us a certain amount. They then dropped the amount that they paid us, and then now we've just got a letter saying they're upping the amount that we pay them. Doesn't seem right.
More and more Cantabrians are turning to solar power, and the South Island has the highest uptake of solar systems being installed according to Solar Living.
It would make sense that as the customers paid for the capital outlay of their system, that they got a fair feed-in tariff rate for what they're exporting.
He says electricity prices have risen over 80% over the past decade and are likely to keep rising. Studies show Canterbury has 16 solar connections per 100,000 people, well above Auckland's 10 and the national average of 12. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Police have confirmed the driver of a car involved in a crash over the weekend who has died. 44-year-old Michael Burnby was driving westbound along Salisbury Street when his car was struck by a van. His death has been referred to the coroner. The front seat passenger in the car remains in a critical condition in the intensive care unit at Christchurch Hospital. Well, still to come here on CTV News. Would you like to see your boss dangle from a building? Well, the campaign is underway, all for a good cause. Welcome back to CTV News. Well, 4 new social housing units were opened in Richmond today. Councillors, along with residents from HP Smith Courts, attended the opening, seeing the one-bedroom flats being added to the Christchurch City Council's rebuild housing stock. 113 homes were lost in the residential red zone due to the quakes. The rebuild program is around quarter of the way through and on target.
That's great news. We're on target to deliver everything that's projected in long-term plan, and we're a little bit ahead of target, so good news.
The next opening will see 18 social housing units being restored in Addington, one of the council's bigger projects due to open early next year.
These things always take, quite a while in the planning. Planning where to put them, planning how they're going to integrate. So there's quite a bit of detail in that design, but once we're underway, we're now ready to open them and make them available.
Great to see the units being built so quickly, great to see them being built to such a great standard as well, and great to see Council's continued commitment to providing social housing in Christchurch.
The program is due to wrap up by 2017. Or would you like to see your boss in an uncomfortable situation, but for a good cause? The Drop Your Boss campaign is about to take off, as Emma J. McLennan explains.
The second annual Drop Your Boss event is returning to Christchurch next Friday, with 30 bosses already signed up. The event, where bosses get sponsored to abseil down a 2-storey building, is run to help raise money for the Foundation for Youth Development.
Drop Your Boss is a fundraising event that we did the first one last year in Canterbury, and we ask bosses around town to be brave and abseil off the Les Mills building and get their colleagues and friends and family to sponsor them to do that.
All money raised will go straight to the Foundation's programs such as KiwiCan, STARS and Project K, each designed to help youth develop confidence.
So Foundation for Youth Development is a foundation set up about 20 years ago, and it's really to try and help our Kiwi kids in the primary and high schools, mainly the ones who might need a bit of help around sort of some life skills and things, kind of been encouraged to set some goals and achieve some goals.
The foundation's hoping to raise $40,000 so it can extend the programs.
We're wanting to get some of those programs, especially KiwiCan, out in some of our southeast schools. So that's kind of what we're fundraising for, is to keep doing what we're doing out west and get some more programs in the southeast.
So the foundation has been working furiously to sign up more Christchurch bosses, each with the goal of raising $1,000 before they take the leap.
Getting people out of their comfort zone and doing something they might not otherwise do, which is what we kind of try and get the kids to do as part of our programs, kind of proving people they can do something if they put their mind to it. And the bosses that have come on board are fantastic. They kind of recognise it's a good cause, and some of them are a bit freaked out for doing it anyway.
And some will be well outside their comfort zone. Rumour has it one will be shaving his head, and others will be dressed up in whatever costume their largest donor chooses. You can get behind the cause by sponsoring on the Drop Your Boss Give a Little page, or you can even dob in your boss to do the challenge. Now that sounds like a good idea. Emma J. McLennan, CTV News.
Oh, I don't think I could do that at all. Well, it's a hat-trick for the Christchurch Casino, bringing home gold in the Hospitality Awards once again. Chelsea Daniels has more.
The Christchurch Casino brings home another national award, and for the third year running.
Last night we went to Nelson to the Rutherford Hotel for the Hospitality New Zealand Awards for Excellence, and we won the Host Responsibility Excellence Award. Third time in a row.
Hospitality New Zealand hosted its annual Business Awards last night, with the casino taking out the Excellence in Host Responsibility Award.
Competition's actually quite hard. I've actually visited all the venues that were finalists in the category with us, and the quality of the businesses was something to be reckoned with, and quite an honour to win.
And CEO Brett Anderson says it's all a team effort.
We've got 483 employees. It's something everybody's engaged in. It's part of our fabric, part of our culture in terms of host responsibility. We live and breathe it.
So, should we see the casino in the running next year?
Definitely. I mean, Tony's already drafting the next one, working on it. But again, we'll look at what we can improve on. I mean, technology changes, so you adapt technology to suit, and that's what we're doing.
Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Well, prepare to be pushed outside your comfort zone as a well-known Polish theatre company take to the stage in Christchurch as part of the Body Festival. Emma J. McLennan has more.
The Body Festival has brought many stunning events to Christchurch, but possibly one of the more interesting ones looks to be Faro 2, otherwise known as Masks. It's a Polish play by the famous theatre company Scena Plastyczna KUL.
Elementy, czy część tańca by znalazł, choć istotą tego teatru jest jednak to, co wcześniej powiedziałem, działanie obrazem, plastyką i muzyką.
So the physical theater, yes, it's very wild subject. So in it, definitely our theater is placed, and I think the people will be able to see different kind of physicality and different way of looking and thinking about the body in the theater. So we think it's perfect for here.
Masks is all about the way we try to put on a face, whether that be literally or figuratively. The company has brought its play halfway across the world to join us for the festival, a privilege for Christchurch, as the company's director is one of the most famous in Poland. And while he's been in charge for many years, he doesn't plan to leave for a while yet.
Ten rok jest rokiem jubileuszowym, 45 lat istnieje teatr Scena Plastyczna KUL.
This year it's 45-year anniversary.
Long time.
Długo.
No, ale jeszcze wierzymy, że przed nami też jest czas.
We look forward for the many more years.
The theatre company is attempting to put ideas across in a tangible way through physical theatre, not through words.
Mieć szansę porozumieć się z widzem bez słów, dzięki muzyce i obrazowi.
First, like also with my other shows I did, the first thing is to communicate with the spectator beyond the words, not just without the words, beyond the words, through the picture we create, through the music the spectator hears, and through something which cannot describe.
And while they're here, the Poles are enjoying a little Kiwi fresh air and sunshine.
To, co się z nią wiąże, włącznie z chmurami, wiatrem, przyrodą, naturą, nas fascynuje. Wszyscy jesteśmy pod wrażeniem tej
In general, it's fantastic. Everything, including the wind, the sun, the nature is beautiful here. So we feel it, and it slowly became part of us.
If you're interested to see what the Polish play is all about, you're going to have to get in quick. The play, and in fact the entire Body Festival, will enjoy its last day tomorrow. Emma J. McLennan, CTV News.
Gordon's here next with your local sport, and then it's your region's weather forecast. Welcome back to CTV News now. It's time for your region's weather forecast.
Kia ora Canterbury. Well, it was a fresh start this morning, but those sunny skies definitely came out. Light winds turning northeasterly in the afternoon. Today's highs first up, 16 degrees for Temuka, Geraldine, Timaru and Twizel, 17 there for Waimate. Central Canterbury, Christchurch, you were also on 17 degrees, 16 for Akaroa, Leeston, Ashburton and Methven. Darfield, a little bit warmer than everyone else here, 18 degrees for you. Heading further north, Kaikoura, 18 degrees was also shared by yourself, Hamner Springs, Amberley and Oxford, 17 for Rangiora and Cheviot and 19 for Culverden. Over to the Alpine region, 16 degrees here for Lake Tekapo, 15 for Arthur's Pass. Now the weekend, Timaru looking good for you, sunny skies, light winds breezing through and 17 degrees for your high there, 4 for your morning start. Ashburton, lots of blue skies overhead for your Saturday. 17 degrees is also your expected high with northeasterly winds during the day and 4 for the overnight low. Christchurch, the Garden City will be looking beautiful on Saturday. Blossoms out and sunshine out as well. 18 degrees there for your high, 6 for that morning start. Kaikoura, 7 degrees for your morning low, 18 degrees for your high during the day and beautiful sunshine and light winds. Sunny skies with light winds present for the rest of the Canterbury region as well. Stunning day here South Canterbury for tomorrow. Northerly winds there for Temuka and Geraldine. Central Canterbury, light winds breezing through for all of you guys. 21 degrees is the expected high for Darfield. Pretty warm there, 18 for Akaroa and 17 for Leeston and Methven. Heading further north, looks like North Canterbury is the hottest place to be on Saturday. 21 degrees there for Hamner Springs and Culverden, 20 for Amberley and Oxford and 19 for Cheviot and Rangiora. Over to the Alpine region, sunshine here for you guys, 15 degrees there for Arthur's Pass. Now the end of the weekend, Sunday, sunny skies as well, northwesterly winds breezing through. They could be quite strong during the day there. 22 degrees is the high for Christchurch, 21 for Kaikoura and 20 for Ashburton and Timaru. Flipping over to Monday, again northwesterly winds present, not quite as strong as we're expecting on Sunday, 23 degrees there for Ashburton. The rest of the Canterbury region on Sunday, do look out for those strong winds coming through, particularly the Canterbury Plains and high country areas. A little bit of drizzle there for Arthur's Pass. Mostly dry for everyone else, but those winds could be quite strong and strong for coastal areas in the evening. On Monday, sunny skies and mostly fine apart from Arthur's Pass, a few heavy falls for you. Northwesterly winds coming in again there, but more gentle for coastal areas. Just watch those inland places. Beautiful sunny skies over the next coming days. What a great weekend in store. However, do watch that severe wind coming through, particularly the Canterbury Plains and high country areas. Have a fabulous weekend and we'll see you back here on Monday.
Thanks for that, Mercy. And just a reminder, you can stream CTV News online at our website, ctv.co.nz. You can also find our stories and bulletins as well at that website again, ctv.co.nz. Right, let's go to Gordon Finlater now with a preview of this weekend's local sporting action.
Starting with rugby tonight, and Canterbury play their final game of this year's ITM Cup regular season tomorrow when they host Southland at AMI Stadium. The starting 15 says Jed Robinson start at hooker this week alongside props Joe Moody and Nepo Laulala. Ben Matwajau and Dom Bird are the locks, with Reid Prinsep, Tom Sanders and Luke Whitelock making up the loose forwards. In the backs, it's Mitchell Drummond at halfback with Richie Mwanga at first receiver. Rob Thompson and Ryan Crotty make up the midfield with Johnny McNichol and Milfred Kerasoma on the wings. Tom Taylor gets a rest on the bench this weekend, meaning that Cam McIntyre gets to go stag hunting. Canterbury's fate for the semi-finals was decided last night when Tasman defeated Taranaki in New Plymouth. The result means that Taranaki will qualify for the finals in fourth, setting up a meeting with Canterbury next weekend, with the Red and Blacks already assured of top spot in the competition. Well, rugby league now, and the Canterbury Bulls can seal a spot in next weekend's National Premiership final with a win over the Northern Swords in Whangarei tomorrow. The team were back at training this week after their first loss of the season, going down to Counties Manukau 26 points to 20 at AMI Stadium last Saturday.
We weren't at our best last week. Technically we were terrible in defence. Some areas we were good in, but as a coach I was probably a little bit disappointed because we worked so hard in those areas that we were terrible at. So yeah, they got told that on Tuesday night in a roundabout sort of a way, and their attitude was definitely a lot better at training last Tuesday night, and hopefully they can carry on to training tonight.
A win over Counties would have cemented Canterbury's place in the final, and while the side are heavy favourites over the winless Northern tomorrow, they'll be taking nothing for granted.
We want to go up there and put on a better performance than we did last week. Reading out a few stats at training on Tuesday night, there's quite a few missed tackles and stuff that's not really good enough for rep footy.
After coach Daryl Code's strong words earlier in the week, the team have raised their intensity at training as they head into the final week of the season.
Very fit and focused. They've actually lifted it up. I mean, once in a while everyone needs to be told off at some stage, otherwise if you don't get told off and you just carry on doing the same thing that you're going to be doing every other training, but yeah, obviously the boys lifted up.
A couple of key players will miss the trip to Whangarei, with a full-strength side hoped to be available for the competition final.
Obviously, Teven's, I'm giving him as much time as he needs to get over an injury. Anga Fessel has hurt his quad again this week, so he's resting. There's a couple others that were just resting, that have got niggling injuries. So, yeah, everyone should be available for selection next week.
While a Counties versus Canterbury final is looking the most likely, the Waikawa Bay Stallions will make their second straight finals appearance in a row should either Northern defeat Canterbury or, more preferably, Wellington upset Counties.
Who knows, they'll be in the same boat, won't they? They'll be looking forward to a big end to their season and their campaign. They've gone okay this year. They're at home for their last game. So who knows? They could turn up ready to go and give Counties a bit of a shake-up. I mean, I don't think Counties were that great a side. I just think that we were terrible last weekend in some areas. Some areas were very good. So, hey, look, it's all in Wellington's hands, isn't it? And I'm sure Waikawa Bay will be cheering them on as well as they will be Northern. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see after Saturday's games.
Well, international hockey returns to Christchurch tonight when both our men's and women's Black Stick sides take to the field at Marist Park. Our women take on Argentina at 6, with the men playing India at 8 o'clock. The men's side will also return to Marist Park for the final game of their series on Sunday. And finally tonight, don't expect to hear from any of your motorsport friends this weekend, with the great race happening across the ditch. A trio of Kiwi drivers will be amongst potential favourites. However, our local hopes at Bathurst lie in the hands of Christchurch's Scott McLaughlin, driving his Volvo in the marathon 1,000-kilometre race. Well, you're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Findlater for CTV Sport.
Thanks for that, Gordon. And just before we go tonight, we want to say goodbye to Doug, our director, who's been in the TV broadcasting industry for 51 years. I hear you, Doug. Yeah, 51 years, a very long time. We're going to miss you here, Doug, and I appreciate everything you've done for me and everyone here as well. But for now, that is CTV News for Friday. Join me tomorrow night at 5 for Weekend Review. Plus, you can find all our stories and bulletins on demand at ctv.co.nz. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jeremy McCulloch. Have a great evening.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.